Hey, what's up, guys? Sam here, and I'll be doing the free video for Friday, August 11th, 2023. So, a few minutes before the market closes, it's pretty much a flattish kind of day, which has been kind of par for the course. There's been a lot of push and pull in the market, but the bears really haven't gained too much ground. But there is a potential that they will start to gain a lot of ground very quickly. So I'm going to show you a couple of things here, and I think I'll start by showing you this chart that's directly in front of us. This is what I call the FANG index. This is a chart that is only the top stocks basically that move the market. So it's Apple, Amazon, AMD, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Netflix, and Nvidia, and Tesla. So it's basically the top stocks in the NASDAQ, but we just remove all the other crap and we just look at these stocks. And it's starting to give me some really interesting signals that you need to be aware of. So as we look at this chart, just keep in mind, if this chart goes lower, right, as we go along, if your signals would imply that it goes lower, then it's, tech is a short and maybe the entire market is a short. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to start by showing you this, and then I'm going to show you the bonds, or maybe the interest rate, same thing, just in reverse, and the dollar, and then I'm going to show you the one thing the bulls have going for them, and there's only one. So let's dive in. So this is the FANG index, like we talked about. Those are all the components inside in the market, and I just want you to focus on a couple of things. Right? One, note the blue line here. The blue line has never been broken during the uptrend, right? And this has been going on now for months. This started happening even before the big rally from February. So this blue line is the daily 50, and it's been intact the whole time. And now you've traded below it 3 days in a row, right? Also, you started getting buy signals back here. You got additional buy signals here. From that, you go straight up, and you haven't had a single sell signal at all until right now. So that's, trading is mostly pattern recognition. So we're looking for what is the pattern that was, and then what is actually happening now. Also here on the squeeze histogram, and this is a language we all can speak because we all know the squeeze quite well. Look how heavy that squeeze is to the downside. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars of increasing momentum to the downside. That thing is like ready to burst, and the signals, when you tie it all together, the probability that this breaks short in a rather spectacular way is very, very high. So then we move over here, and this is a 2-day chart. Now, I kind of handpicked this one. I normally wouldn't show you a 2-day chart, but I'm showing it to you just so you can see that there's actually a 2-day squeeze here as well. So the idea that this could break in a huge way is actually quite possible. So then let's take this idea and look at, and I'm just going to shortcut it. I don't want to make too long of a video here. So I'm going to show you kind of the big problem that I see. And the big problem that I see is found in the interest rate, or bonds. So the TNX is your 10-year interest rate, and keep in mind, as this goes higher, interest rates are going higher, and as interest rates go higher, the cost of money is going higher, right? And as the cost of money goes higher, well, that makes stocks less attractive. So there's a lot of very important effects here. But the one level you need to know here on TNX is just 41. So that translates to 4.1 on the 10-year interest rate. And you can see that it's been kind of trying to top there. They even put in a little trap thing above the highs. But now you can see that as of today, you're actually set to close above it, which is not great, because that was kind of the line in the sand that I had, was 41 on the TNX. So also keep in mind that TNX disproportionately hits tech stocks, which is why it kind of goes back to the first chart that I showed you, looking like as bad as it's looked pretty much in a year, and with the potential to get significantly worse, right? So it's not necessarily, oh, it looks bad and it's the end of this this downswing. This is, if the signals are true, it's just the beginning. So these two charts that I'm showing you, even though they're completely different things, one is mega cap tech stocks, this is the interest rate. These two charts are basically married together, and as if this chart continues going higher, tech is going to get hit disproportionately hard. So going into next week, that there's certainly tons of danger, right? Also, August tends to be kind of a seasonally not a great month. So what is the one thing that the bulls have here? And it ain't much. This is like the equivalent of bringing a butter knife to a gunfight. But it's better than no butter knife. So I do have to show it to you. So here's the one thing the bulls have. And it would be pretty great if they were able to do something with this next week. I'm still going to be looking for a short. Ideally, I'd like to get short closer to about 45.34, 45.40 on the SPX. That's where I think is a really good short. But check this out. So you have a high here, and then you have a higher high here. And you see how the indicator goes lower? So price goes up, momentum goes down, and then from there you kind of have a little mini crash. That's called a negative divergence. So basically this high that was made, this second high was made on lower momentum, and it basically indicates it's an unstable structure. Well, check this out. If that's a negative divergence, here you have a low, a lower low, another lower low, another lower low, another lower low, and then one last lower low. That's a ton of lower lows. But look at the indicator. See how it's going up? Why is it doing that? Right? So you kind of have like this like falling wedge thing with a positive divergence underneath it. So can you get, you know, maybe a 2-day short squeeze from this? If it's going to happen, this is a great start. But also keep in mind the weight of the evidence really is very strong that the market will go lower based on the chart that I showed you initially, which is the FANG index as well as the TNX. So this weekend I wouldn't spend too much time looking at individual stocks. I would spend a lot more time looking at the dollar, TNX, and basically like the QQQ. And if you can get an understanding of those three things, basically you're set to trade next week. So what I'm going to be looking for next week is to see, kind of my wish list is actually that this will pop higher off of this positive divergence and bullish falling pattern. My wish list is that it pops up here to about 45.40. I get sell signals. I can buy some Delta 30 puts out till September on the QQQ, and I would be looking to play it basically back into about 4,400 minimum, more than likely 4,300. In the event that I don't get this pop and this just gets washed away, it's the exact same trade. If we just get washed away here, we start to break 44.40, then I do the exact same thing. But I go out and I try to buy Delta 30 puts on the QQQ for either September or for October. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments. Before you go somewhere else on the YouTube, make sure you leave us a like. It certainly does help us out with the bots. The algorithm loves a good like. So if this was helpful to you this weekend, drop us a like, drop us a comment. We like to hear from you. And if you disagree with what I'm saying, even more reason to leave us a chat, and we'll try to get back to you. All right, guys. Thanks for checking out the video. Have a great Friday, great weekend, and I'll see you guys next Friday. Cheers. Hey, traders. This is Sam with Simpler Trading. I want to thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you found the information in it helpful. If you did, leave us a like, leave us a comment. It really does help us out with the algorithm. And if you want to see us trade live with our own real money and be part of the community, come and check us out at simplertrading.com.